trying to see something real quick. Because somebody's tripping. We'll see. I didn't know that the Facebook hated me like that. Not y'all, but the actual app. I didn't know they hated the girl like that. Seriously, Facebook? Seriously? This how you gonna do me? This how you gonna do me? I'm really shocked. I think you got some fruit around you. Wow, Facebook. Y'all do the girl so dirty. Wow. 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 This motherfucker ain't sitting on that one. Wow, they do these girls so dirty like that. Alright, well, guess that answers my question. That answers my question. Doing a test, you guys. Facebook been doing you girls so dirty. And if you guys are watching this and you want to see more of my posts, you will have to turn on post notifications. Okay? Turn on post notifications. And then you can go to my timeline on my page and thumbs up. Give a thumbs up. That way you can see more of my posts, because there's a lot of censorship happening now on Facebook. Big, heavy censorship that's happening. So with the censorship, if you post something they don't like, they limit your posts. So your followers can't see it. So for me, as a content creator, I have no reason to post if you guys can't see my posts. There's no interaction. So you guys have noticed that over the past 5 days, I have not made a post because of that very reason. But to counterbalance that, if you would like to see more posts from me, then just thumbs up my posts and turn on the post notifications, okay? It's very simple. Otherwise, I might just stop posting, and I probably will stop going live on this page. I'm dead ass serious. This is not even a joke, because I'm not going to waste my time making content or sharing content if Facebook is not going to show it to my audience. It's that simple. What's up? So what to do as a white man that's new to cuckold? Y'all use cuckold questions. Whose girlfriend is interested and curious about BBC, but I'm afraid she get hooked. That's like the biggest question I get asked. The glare. I'm trying to read the comments. So what? Okay, let's say she gets hooked. So what if she gets hooked? Get away. If she gets hooked, so what? That sounds like a contradiction if you ask me. So you're interested in being a cuckold, which means that you are accepting of her having sex with other men, but on the same token, you're afraid that she's gonna get hooked to it? That, I don't understand that logic. Absolutely at all, because if you're gonna say you want to do something and obviously you're interested in it, what is the big issue if you get hooked on it? If she gets hooked, I don't think that's really your concern. If she gets hooked, then so what? Why is that? That should be in favor for you, right? She gets hooked on something that you wanted her to get involved with anyway. You wanted her to get involved in this lifestyle, but you're afraid that she's going to like it too much? Or are you afraid that she's going to choose the other guys over you and have less interest in you? But I'm assuming that if you are okay with her having sex with other men, then you don't have jealousy issues. So what is the big deal? You be useless? He's bigger than... Come on. You would be useless? Not necessarily. You're not useless. He could be bigger than you in one area, but you have something else to bring in a different area. Sex is more than just penetration, guys. Think outside the box. I tell people that all the time who are interested in BDSM. Well, who notice that I'm interested in BDSM, who's also interested in BDSM, right? And they automatically think sex, right? They just result to sex. And I'm like, for me, it's not a sexual thing. It's more of a mental stimulation thing. And there's so many different aspects of BDSM that don't even involve sex. But it can lead to sexual arousal, though. You get what I'm saying? You can tie a person up. That's not sex. But it can, that's being tied up, being in bondage can lead to sexual arousal. You can humiliate a person. People get turned on by many different things. You got to learn what is a person's fetish, what turns a person on. And sometimes it's things that have nothing to do directly with sex. You know? Nothing to do directly with sex, but it could lead to sexual arousal. And you don't even know that the two are closely related. So I would encourage you, if you're that concerned, to really get to know your wife, to see what really turns her on, because it may not just be BBC. It may be something deeper than BBC that has nothing to do with sex. That would involve selflessness, you know? Some people aren't selfless enough to tap into what their partner likes. They're so concerned about getting pleased themselves. But I ask you, what is it about cuckold, being a cuckold, that interests you? Because obviously it does something for you to see your wife get banged out by BBC. So what is that? What are you gaining from that? Daniel, you say that you had some bad experiences how you was in for a rude awakening, right? That can be true. That can be true. You just came across the wrong ones, I would have to say. It's funny how this video, I definitely did not start this video to be talking about this. But that's what you guys are interested in. When somebody's going to comment on one of my videos on YouTube and say, oh, I'm very disappointed that you have reduced yourself to sexual objectification. I'm like, No, sweetheart. Women, first of all, are sexually objectified irrespective of what they say or do. So talking about different sexual related topics does not turn me into a sex object. I'm not a sex object. But I do like to discuss sexually related things. Like, I'm a human being. And it has nothing to do with really anything. It's just me being a human being interested in talking about things that interest me. But I know that can be very disappointing where you have your expectations set up, right? And you think that all black men are well endowed when really that's not all black men. But like the saying goes, it's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. So what about the motion of the ocean? What about the motion of the ocean? Because I think that can be true for the motion of the ocean as it relates to black men. And it may give the perception that they have a BBC, when really it's not they have a BBC, is that they know what to do with their BBC. So it's the motion of the ocean. So yeah, I get where you're coming from. I definitely get where you're coming from. Because the same also is like usually said about African men. Continental African men, men who were born in Africa. Oh, they got the Mandingo, the Mandingo warrior stereotype. And then you get with one, you like, what the fuck? You better off having sex with a Chinese man. That disappointment be hitting, right? You say big dicks are sexy though? If they know what to do with it, just having a big dick alone means nothing really if you don't know what to do with it. I want to see where I'm at. BBC out her mouth. Whatever, you done heard that before, because I know you watch porn. So to say you ain't heard a black woman say BBC out her mouth, you watch porn, I'm sure. But I guess that's an interracial thing. When you hear the term BBC, is more found in a context or used in the context of interracial relationships, right? So I guess, yeah, you're right. Maybe you hear mostly white women or non-black women saying BBC. Y'all are funny. I would like to have an in-person discussion, because sometimes, like, this is the thing about social media. They are censoring heavy, y'all. That's what I'm telling y'all. Like, that's the reason why I came live. That if you want to see more of my content, which I'm sure some of you do, some of y'all probably don't care, but for those who do, then you will have to turn on your post notifications for my page, Danielle Leach, and then go and thumbs up my content, thumbs up my post, so that way when I post, it'll show in your news feed. That's how the algorithm works, right? But yeah, I would like to do this in person, because social media is not like it used to be. You used to could get on here and express your opinions, perspectives about different topics, and nothing happens. And then now you post, I shared, I reposted actually. I didn't even create the post. I wasn't the original creator of the post, but I shared this post by this doctor. I know you guys know who she is, this African doctor. She's claiming to have a cure for COVID-19, and I just shared her post, her video, to get your reaction to it. And Facebook is just hating, y'all. They hating on me. They hating on your girl. I'm like, how you gonna limit my post, but the original content creator, I mean, yes, the video was deleted from her page, but they didn't limit her reach. She actually blew up, because I think also with her becoming an internet sensation now, because she's blown up, that shit went viral, that it also boosted her her following, and it boosted the interaction on her page. You know, but I'm like, if y'all gonna limit posts like that, like, what's the point in even posting on this shit? If you're gonna limit my posts, why should I even come on here? And I was debating, like, should I even post today? Should I even go live? I haven't posted in 5 days. I've done a few test posts just to see, you know, if it works. But I'm like, we're not gonna do this, Facebook. Like, I spent years building this platform. I can build another. I mean, I have several other pages. This is not my only Facebook page. I have over 10 Facebook pages, granted, you know, under different names and different brands, but still, it's like, regardless, I know how to build a platform easily, but still, like, this is Danielle, this is my personal platform. Y'all not gonna do this to your girls. So topics like this, or even like politically charged, emotionally charged topics, you know, sometimes it's best just to have it in person, face to face, because having it online on these platforms that want to censor heavy, and especially given that we are in the context of a election, presidential election, you already know they on edge about every little thing. You can't post shit. You know, can't even be comedic. No, I'm not in, well, this is definitely not Washington Square, because this is a really small park. This is in the Upper East Side. Sorry, I just saw your post, but yeah. This is not Washington Square. Washington Square is Lower Manhattan. This is Upper East Side Manhattan right here. I'm actually about to leave in a little bit though, but yeah, this is Upper East Side Manhattan. Washington Square, I think they're still turning up over there too. There's a lot of stuff going on over there. I'm not going over there today. I'm going to go to Brooklyn today. I finished eating. Forgot to get napkins. But New York has parks like all throughout the city, so I live close by. I just walked, I got something to eat from the deli, and I decided to just come over here and just test out my live to see if it was functional, because I'm like, Facebook just silenced your girl. And I can post, they haven't like took away my ability to post, but they have drastically decreased the amount of people who can see my posts, which discourages me obviously from posting. Daniel, you say you know where Washington Square is. My bad. I be speaking for people who may not know, you know, because even though there's only a few people watching right now, more people is gonna see this video, and I usually upload my Facebook videos to YouTube as well. So for other people who don't know, are you in New York City? I had somebody, I don't know if it was you, but somebody had inboxed me talking about a date. Somebody, can they go on a date with me in Times Square? And it's like, for me, y'all gotta understand, social media is something else. It's fun, it's a place we can interact and network. And trust me, I built a whole organization off of just social media alone, and we've had in-person events, you know. So it's not that I'm not open to meeting people from offline, because I've done it in the past, but more on a professional level. But when it comes to my personal life, I'm more reluctant to meet people off of social media on a personal basis, because it's just the obvious reasons. It's just obvious reasons. But I think more recently I'm kind of expanding my my take on this whole thing. I'm expanding my mind a little bit to say, okay, well, maybe it won't be so bad, depending on the person, you know, depending. It's a big ass depend. But I have not met anybody from Facebook on a personal level. No, I have not met anyone from Facebook on a personal level. On a professional level, yes, I've met hundreds of people on a professional level, and that's through my organization that I manage and own. You guys can go do more research about that. But yeah, I hosted events. Like, I've hosted, you know, conventions just based on my following from my professional page that I own. I hosted a convention in Atlanta, in New York City, and in Los Angeles. So it's not that I'm closed down to meeting people from online. It's just, it depends, you know. And I don't want to send the wrong message. I think sometimes what it is that I talk so openly and freely about sex and just different topics that interest other people, right? It also interests me. And people somehow think that I'm a sex object. Somebody commented, like, on one of my YouTube videos recently, is like, oh, I'm disappointed that you reduce yourself to a sexual objectification by men. And I'm like, are you serious? What the hell make you think? Because I'm discussing topics related to sex and I talk about it so freely. And on top of that, when people comment, because obviously it's going to, you know, gather the attention of a range of people, and so those people comment on my posts, on my YouTube videos, and some just be saying all kinds of stuff. One guy was like, oh, I'm getting turned on by watching you talk about this, and I left his comment up. And I think just based on that alone, it led the other guy to comment to say that I'm reduced myself to sexual objectification. I'm just like, seriously? I cannot control what people say out their mouths. Their own projection based on their own experiences in life, their own socialization, you know, triggered by what I said in my video. It got nothing to do with me, because I can have an intellectual conversation with a very respectful, mature man on these topics related to sex, and I'm not treated as a sex object, okay? So I think it has nothing to do with what I say. It's more about the person themselves who responds to the content that I post. But I had to let that be known, because I'm just like, no, sweetheart. You wish. That was you who asked that. Your Coco videos did turn me on. So that was you who asked about going on a date in Times Square? What, for what? My thing is, I try to like make it clear, make it known that for people, because like I said, I'm not completely closed down to the idea of meeting someone on a personal level from Facebook, you know. But you have to be very clear and upfront about what is your intent, who you are, number one. And that's a big thing that a lot of people don't do. They don't introduce themselves. They'll say their name, but that's not an introduction to me. A proper introduction is not only saying your name, but say who you are. What do you do? Where do you live? You know, what is your purpose for messaging me? And don't be general. You got to be very specific. Get down to the root. Let me tell you how specific I like it now. Give you an example. This is an example. Not to say I agree with it, but I like his specificity. I like that he was very concrete. I'm on a dating site, and this guy went straight to the punch, and he said, I am interested. He was like, you know, I like your profile, you know, I like your photos. But he got straight to the punch, and he said, thank God nobody's really paying attention to me. This is why I love New York City, because you can be talking about whatever, and nobody gives a fuck, right? And I'm at a playground with a whole bunch of kids, and nobody's paying attention. I love it. So he said, he got straight to the punch, and he was like, I am interested in a woman who is interested in putting on a strap-on and having sex with me anally. And I had to tell him that, you know what, I'm not interested in that. That's not my thing, but I can appreciate your honesty and your straightforwardness. I really appreciate that, because you went straight to the punch. Whereas other guys, they will go all around the world. They say all this stuff, oh, you're beautiful, and oh, how is your day? They come with the small talk. How is your day? And you know, how are you managing this sun? What did you eat for lunch? You don't really care about none of that. Just get straight to the point. What is your intent? Because there's a reason why you message me. There's a reason why you say you want to go on a date. There is a reason. Just say it. I'm that kind of person. I'm 36 years old. I'm not 21, even though I may look a little bit younger. I'm not young. I mean, I'm young, I guess, relatively speaking, but you know, I'm not one of these little young girls out here. Okay? I wanted to go with you on a date to my ex's work where she and her boyfriend. What? To do what though? That's still not specific enough. To do what? That's still not to say, oh, you want to go on a date to do something, but why? What's the point of it? Get straight to the root of it. What is the point? Because that way, when you provide detailed information, guess what? It saves me time from having to go back and forth and ask why and to clarify. And it also allows me to make an informed decision from there, right? An informed decision. But when you do not provide enough details, then I'm not, like, I just don't do that. I'm not going to go back and forth asking why and da-da-da, you know. Not in an email, you know, or in an inbox message, you know. I had to get out of the house today, y'all, because I've been chilling inside. I have my moments where I just stay in the house. I don't go anywhere. And then I have my times where for days, back to back, I'll just go out through the city, you know. So today is one of those days I feel it's a good day to get out. And I want to test this freaking live to see if Facebook really hates me like that. Not you guys, but the app. Some weird stuff has been going on. Facebook is weird, man. It is weird. Y'all be wildin' for real. Now, Daniel, did you really think about that? See, y'all just be jumping to the punch doing stuff. You don't think about it. You want me to go with you on a date to your ex's work where she and her boyfriend work now. Now, I can make assumptions about why you want me to do that. To make her jealous. To say, hey, look at me. Look who I got. And your intent to make her jealous is so that what? To get her attention? So that she can come back to you? To make her feel hurt? Make her regret her decision on leaving you to go be with somebody else? What is it? You can't use me to do that. Are you insane? You got to be crazy. I mean, it sounds fun. I guess you guys know I'm like a really fun person. It sounds fun, right? But come on. What do I gain from it? What do I get out of it? Hell no, I'm not doing that. So what? She can be mad at me? She want to try to come and do something to me? No, we're not about to create no kind of scenario like that. No, sweetie. So then you can create this whole dramatic situation where now you got her mad. You think she would be mad, right? You're doing that to make her mad. But what if she's not mad though? What if she's moved on, she's not mad? She see you with another woman, that's not gonna make her mad. If she's moved on, she can care less. Like my ex, we've been broken up since 2017. That's December. Yeah, it'd be like 3 years in December. And granted, I love this man, you know. I loved him very dearly. Thought we were gonna be like lifetime partners, right? Lifelong partners. But if I was to see him with another woman, I would not be mad. I think I would be happy that he's moved on mentally, emotionally, you know, and physically, because that relationship with him was so toxic that I not only fear for my life and my safety, but I kind of fear for his too. And I just knew it was not going to be beneficial for me to stay with him. So with that, I'm just like, I would be happy because I don't need no stalker on my freaking, I don't need no stalker. I don't need no man be like, oh, well, if I can't have you, nobody can, and get mad at me because they see me, I moved on, you know, and they just can't move on with their life. That is some freaking fatal attraction shit right there, you know. I don't need that. So yes, I would be happy, you know. Good, you moved on. I want to see people happy, you know. Daniel, you ain't making no sense. You know that don't make no sense. I will be there to make them know that you're not trying to cause trouble. So why would you go to your ex-girlfriend's workplace where her and her boyfriend works? Why would you go? What reason do you have to go over there? You ain't making no goddamn sense. You know you ain't making no sense. You just making up stuff. You ain't making no sense. How did you find my page, first of all? I'm curious. I always be curious to know, how did you find my page? Probably from YouTube. Because a lot of you guys who come across me on YouTube, some of y'all even know I have a Facebook page. And then somehow you do enough digging and you find that I have a Facebook page. And I invite you guys to interact with me over here, you know, because y'all think that YouTube is all there is. And I'm like, you can interact with me where I am the most, and I'm on Facebook the most. All my videos usually that I have made for YouTube, I actually created on Facebook and just download it from Facebook and upload it to YouTube. Oh, it's so cute. I want to get in the water. I want to get in the water. So cute. Oh, hell no. You know you wrong for that. You talking about you search cuckold in YouTube. You wrong for that. Enough said right there. I can understand jerking off to a porn video, but a YouTube video, YouTube doesn't allow sex. They barely allow you to talk about sex. You have to talk about it in a very strategic way on YouTube and Facebook, very strategically. So they don't think you're trying to solicit. I'm like, y'all got me fucked up. They tried to flag one of my posts talking about I'm trying to solicit sex because I promoted an event, a BDSM demonstration event. They're gonna say sexual solicitation. Y'all got me fucked up. What do I look like I'm soliciting for some goddamn sex? This is a demonstration. This is a freaking workshop, okay? Teaching people about themselves, their bodies and stuff like that on a very professional level. This ain't got shit to do with no fucking sex, man. I mean, it's sexual related, but come on, not what y'all thinking. I'm like, did y'all flag fucking 50 Shades of Grey? They post? No. So see how biased they can be sometimes? That's how you found me? Okay. Yeah. I'm about to get up and eat from here. You asked me what street I was at. I'm below 100th Street. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm below 100th Street. Upper East Side, below 100th. That's the thing, like a lot of these parks in New York look the same, right? You thought I was at Washington Square. I ain't going down there. I see they still got some stuff going on down there. They have protests in downtown LA, I noticed on yesterday too. Somebody went live on IG. And I noticed they had some protests going on downtown LA. And I don't think it's over, man. I think, see what, they tricking us, y'all. They tricked, I said on somebody's post, this is what happened, because people are so disappointed in all of this because of stuff that's happened. Oh my gosh. Every time there's a news update relating to COVID, right? And then these new developments, it's like, don't y'all see it coming? And they're saying how, you know, they basically had to go and reverse and start closing stores and, you know, businesses and, you know, organizations and stuff. And people are sad and like, oh my gosh. And I was like, listen, y'all don't see this. Some people see it and some people just, y'all don't see it until it actually happens. Like, I'm one of those people that I see things before it happens. And I said the reopening that they've done across the U.S. was simply to allow people a little bit of space to breathe, right? Because you don't want to, like when you do something as drastic as shutting down the world, you can't, to go full-fledged, but you got to do it in like layers, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise people will freak out. People are already freaking out, but you got to do it progressively, right? And then you can't keep them there, you know what I'm saying? You got to give them a sense that they have a little bit freedom, a little bit control. So they reopen the country, you know, different places across the country to give people a little bit of sense of freedom. But then they about to shut this shit right back down. They already told y'all that it's a second wave coming. They said this months ago. Now, how would they be able to predict a second wave? And they said it with such confidence, right? With such certainty when they said this a couple months ago. How would they know it's going to be a second wave? Unless, come on now. Come on now. They said it with so much confidence. So, that's what we are facing. And the fact that they have went in reverse and they started to shut down places that were open during this whole pandemic, that they reopened, y'all can forget about it. That's what I'm saying. This shit ain't over yet. This ain't over. We're going back, and it's getting worse. It's gonna get worse. So just be prepared, because it's gonna get worse. It's going to get worse. You said that was the answer. You weren't looking for an exact street number. You was looking for the vicinity, huh? What you gonna try to roll up? Don't roll up on me. I may not be so nice in person. That's the thing though. It's like a person. You can perceive a person to be one way online, and then in person, you just like, whoa, different. No, I think I'm the same way in person though. It depends on your energy. What kind of energy are you bringing? Because the energy you bring is the energy that I'm going to bring. I match your energy. People say, oh no, you can't match a person's energy. You got to be nice. No. I compliment your energy. Put it that way. I'm going to say exactly match it, but I definitely will compliment your energy. I checked the forecast and they said it was supposed to rain. Supposed to get rain all the way through Wednesday, I think, of this week, which would include yesterday too. And it ain't been no rain unless it was like sneaking up in certain isolated areas across New York City. I ain't seen no rain over here. No, I don't want to hang out. I do not want to hang out with a complete stranger. Why don't y'all understand this, okay? Even guys that I be talking with on these dating apps, they be like, oh, so what's your number? I want to hang out with you today. Like, dude, we just met today. I don't know. I don't hang out with people I don't know. Yeah, I may be very, that's the thing. I think that's probably the confusion here. I can be very open, right? Transparent online. I'm that way online, I am. But there's still a safeguard, you know what I'm saying? There's obviously a safeguard because you guys don't have access to me in person. I don't know you guys. So I don't understand how people can somehow be misled to thinking that a female is going to meet a guy that she don't know nothing about. I do not know who you are. I'm not talking about you specifically, but you know, in general, like, I don't know who you are. And these guys will be messaging me on these dating apps, like they expect to meet the same day. Like even the guy I was walking down through Midtown Manhattan, and he stopped me and all, he was nice looking, and this was like in person, where he expected me, just because we crossed paths in person, he wanted to go out on a date the same day, that night. And I'm just like, hell no, are you crazy? Now maybe probably when I was I think I was a little bit more adventurous in that respect when in my 20s, but I'm a lot more cautious in my 30s, a lot more cautious. Oh, I was wild as hell in my 20s and my teens. I probably would have did something like that. Because when you that young, I think you just think that you have, the world is yours, right? You think you're invincible. And you are more open to new experiences, I think, when you're younger. As you should be. You should be more open, because that's how you learn, you know? That's how you gain knowledge of the world and yourself, you know, and you grow through those experiences, whether good or bad. So yeah, when I was in my 20s and in my teens, I would do random shit like that, just random. Like, I don't know, we hang out, I would go and have fun, you know. I got to experience the college experience, you know. I had that whole experience of doing everything that college students do. Now, I ain't trying no illicit drugs. When I say illicit, I ain't trying like no hard drugs or nothing like that. But I live life. I live life. I had fun. Like, I have some stories to tell, you know, about my college days. I went out there and I definitely would do stuff like that. I didn't care, you know. And for the most part, nothing bad happened to me. You know, the universe kept me safe and protected, thank God. So, but being the woman that I am now and knowing what I know, would I do that now? No. The things that I know. I can't, you know, and especially with my identity that I have now, my professional identity that I'm developing, like I'm developing into becoming a clinical psychologist. I cannot do that, you know. Like, it's a bad reflection on myself, not only myself, but obviously my profession that I will represent. It's just not a good look. It's not something, you know, I've invested a lot of money, time, effort, energy, tears, blood, all that, sweat into this credential here that I'm working towards. So I would not compromise that, you know. I just wouldn't. By making careless decisions, like just doing stupid stuff like that. I couldn't do that, you know. But hey, we can talk about it, you know. As an author, I can write about it. Hey, they be my program. They already listen. I went through some stuff with them because they saw my website. I told y'all this. My directors at my school saw my website and they like. They had some questions. I got called into a few meetings where they had some questions about the content on my website because I am a BDSM fictional author, right? And I even admitted in my story that yes, it's a fictional story because it's not 100% true, but it's based on real life experiences that have happened to me. And so, yeah, I've gotten some criticism and some negative feedback from people in my program who are psychologists. And you would think, okay, as psychologists, we are so understanding of human behavior, right? We're understanding of it. We don't judge it. We try to understand it. And them motherfuckers was very judgy towards me. And I'm just like, chill. It's just life. It's human nature. It's an alternative life. I had to explain to them, first of all, what BDSM is. Because a lot of people just have no clue what BDSM is. And I had to break it down to them what it is, you know. And that what y'all saw on my website is not me. And if it is, it ain't none of your business. If it is, if it ain't. But I told them it's not me. Although I wrote the fictional story in first person. So it's written in first person. But I'm just like, you know, it wasn't me. You said just be yourself. So you said you trying to mock me when I said I don't hang out with people I don't know. You said it sounded so ditzy and airheaded. No, I just gotta protect myself, man. That's why I'm single. Yes, I'm single. I'm very protective. Even though I'm on a dating scene, I'm super, like, y'all, I have so many safeguards up where it's like, it's pointless. Somebody commented because I had did like a video, a reaction video where I like actually made a video of the inbox messages that I received on this dating site. And I made it to show basically that I mean, I have so many options, but I have no options. Like I can't even count the number of messages I receive on a daily basis. I get so many messages, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm just, you know, even though I know, yes, I am that. But, you know, of course, other women receive all kinds of messages too, right? However, it's like, one guy was like, he got so frustrated because in the video I maybe sound kind of snarky and just like, oh, you know, I'm not interested in talking to any of these guys. He was like, so why are you even on the website? Like, why are you even there? Like, why are you wasting guys' time? I'm like, no, I'm there obviously because I'm looking to, like, come on, I'm 36, I don't have any kids. So yes, I do want to procreate. I do want to find, you know, my Prince Charming. But I'm so guarded to the extent where it's like I might as well not even be on a dating site. I might as well not even be on there. Because I give guys a really hard time. Like, unless, like I said, I think it just depends though. Because I've already made videos on my crush. You guys know, like the people who are in the conscious community know who my crush is. I'm not going to like revisit that whole situation again. But like, unless you're a person of that stature, unless you're a person like that, who I already know a lot about, you know, based on their presence on social media, then yeah, I'll be less guarded because I feel like I know just as much as about you. I know just as much about you as you know about me, so I can lessen my defenses a little bit, right? And I feel a little bit safer, you know. And I feel like it's a worthwhile investment because when you dating somebody, it's an investment of your time. It's an investment of your time when you're dating someone, and I don't like wasting time. Why do men cross-dress? Psychologists. You asking why do men cross-dress? Why do men cross-dress? I used to be a cross-dresser. When I was growing up as a little girl, I used to like put on my dad's clothes, his work clothes. Can you consider that cross-dressing? I wasn't a girly type. When I was a little girl, I definitely was not the girly type. And, you know, that's just what it was. I wasn't a girly type, so I'm about to head. I gotta check to see, make sure. The motherfuckers is kind of weird over here, y'all. And I swear to God. But I wasn't a girly type. I used to be a tomboy. I used to, you know, climb fences, jump fences. I used to play, you know, football with the boys. I used to do everything boys did, you know. And so, like, even within my household, I would put on my dad's work clothes. I have pictures actually where I would be dressed like in his hat, his you know, his shirt, his collared shirt, his pants, his shoes. No, I won't put on his pants, but I would put on his shirt and I would wear his hat and his shoes and just, you know. And boys do it too. I think they sometimes, like, if they grow up with a single mother, you'll see boys walking around in their mom's high heels and shit, because it's different, you know, and they usually do it because they admire her, you know. I admire my dad a lot. That's why I did it. I put my dad's clothes on. I was in grade school. I was probably even pre-literate. Before I even started school, where I would do that. I would put on my dad's clothes, and it was cool. And my dad liked it. He would take pictures of me in his clothes. Because I admire my dad, you know. My dad, actually, his birthday is this month. He'll be 79. But I admire him, you know, a lot. Probably more than my mom. I love my mom, too. Don't get me wrong. I love both my parents, but I just love my dad. He's He would go and cut grass. I would like to see him cut grass, and I would be up under him a lot. I just like the things that he did. He was just the person to look up to. He had his own business. I would be right there with him. He, you know, serving his customers. And so as far as why do people cross-dress, I was watching this YouTuber, very well-known YouTuber, who recently made a video on transgendered women. Are they really women? And of course, in that conversation, it was very loaded conversation, talking about, you know, all kinds of stuff, cross-dressing, and transsexuals, and all biology, genetics, all of that, you know. And she made a point to say that men want to be women because women, you know, shit, we that creature, you know what I'm saying? We is what it is. We it. We are it, right? So who wouldn't want to be it? The mother of creation, you know, to an extent, right? But you got men who want to be, women who want to be men too, on the same token. So people just want to be what they not, you know. And then probably the attention also reinforces it, because you think about cross-dressers, like, they get a lot of attention because it's different, you know. I was walking across the Brooklyn Bridge a couple months ago, and on my way up the bridge, I saw some titties, like some just titties hanging out, right? And I just looked at the person, I was just like, oh, what? I looked at him, and then I noticed it looked like his stature, his body looked like a man. But, you know, the first thing I saw was some titties hanging. And when I say titties, I mean uncovered titties, right? Uncovered. He was not wearing anything on top. But I examined his body, and I saw, okay, this is a man's body, but, you know, he has titties. And I mean, it's perfectly legal for people to transgender, to become transsexuals, you know, to cross over. It's legal. And I guess he probably took the hormones to be able to produce those titties that he has. And also in New York City, I think that it's not illegal to walk around topless. It's perfectly legal for women. Like, if I wanted to right now, it probably might be kind of inappropriate and socially unaccepted for me to do this at a park, you know, obviously, right? But nobody in New York, people don't really give a fuck. And so women can walk around with their titties hanging out. They can do that. And so that's what that guy was doing. But I'm just like, I thought that was interesting. But just to their point, it's like, it gets attention. People notice that kinds of stuff. People can see, like, whoa, you know, it's a different person. And, you know, I think I spoke to this too, where I think it's a certain level of confidence that people who are transgender people, like, or even just people who fall within LGBT, yes, they have their own issues. We all have our own issues stemming back to childhood, right? But what I've observed with people, and it could be maybe a superficial confidence, I don't know, but to me it comes off as confidence, like their energy. They have this energy that they carry about them that is very attractive, right? So, you know, it gets people's attention, and the attention that they gain from people reinforces that behavior, you know, because attention is a reinforcer, it's a desired reinforcer. And so I think that's just my take on it, you know. And we live in a country where you can do that. Other countries, people get killed for doing something like that. Like, literally killed. Ostracized, you know. Yes, in America they shame people that do different things, you know, but for the most part, you can exist. You can still exist, you know. And then there's movements, there's groups of people, there's support groups that, you know, will advocate for the LGBT community, LGBTQ, there's so many letters, you know, to this community, that they have so much support and people fighting for them, so they can walk down the street and nobody not gonna fuck with them. Because if you fuck with them, it's like fucking with a black person. You don't want that. You don't want to get a hate crime, you know. It's more penalties attached to hate crimes. So I think that's just what it is, yeah. You say we should make BDSM cuckold films. Child boo. What kind of films? Yeah, documentary. I'm all into making documentary, but I don't know what kind of films you're talking about. I ain't gonna revisit that. My crush is a guy in the conscious community. He knows who he is, you know. I could just say one, Cat catchphrase and you'll know who I'm talking about. A lot of people already know. A lot of people who on my YouTube channel, like follow my YouTube, they know. Because honestly, this is the funny thing, that my YouTube channel kind of got jumping. It got jumping because he shared a few of my videos on his social media. And I remember, this was a couple years ago. This was back in, time goes by so fast. It could have been 2017, but I think it was 2018, where he shared a few of my videos. And I was wondering, like, damn, I'm getting so many subscribers. I was getting like a boatload of subscribers just coming in left and right. And I thought it was something that I did. I thought it was a video that I made. But I'm like, it can't be the video that I made, because that video is really not getting that many hits. It was getting hits, but not like that. And then I came across his post. I saw on his profile where my face was on his profile, you know, twice, where he had shared my videos twice. And so I was like, okay, that's how, obviously, I got all these new subscribers coming in left and right, because of the size of his following. Anytime a person with a sizable following, you know, post, they can just make one post, you know, for another person who has a smaller size following, they shit gonna jump up. You're gonna see those numbers climb, you know, right? And so that's what happened, and I was just like, wow, you know? And so I always think about that, because it's like, you know, a lot of he kind of helped my YouTube channel out a little bit, you know. I would say within a few days, my following had jumped at least by 300 subscribers. I'm sure it was more. And even still to this day, a lot of people who follow him, they come onto my page because I have made videos in reference to him. So somehow people still make that connection between me and him. Right? They still think like I never met this man ever in life face to face, but we have met mystically in my dream. So sometimes I consider a dream real life, because it feels real. We met in my dreams where I wasn't even thinking about this man at all, and he popped up in my dream. Maybe I had pushed him down into my subconscious mind, and they say whatever you repress comes back up, right? So maybe that's what happened. But yeah, he definitely resurfaced in my dream. But I do have to go, you guys. You guys would know who I'm talking about. But I do have to go look at my battery, and I want to at least have a little bit of battery to go out in this city. But I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for the conversation. I did not plan to be on here this long, but bye.